The 35-year war is over. Trump made it happen. Russia's influence in the region has diminished. Aliyev looked very pleased. During the talks, he praised Trump extensively, even saying that the Nobel Peace Prize should be awarded to him. So, what happened to Donald Trump? How did he get these two leaders to shake hands like this? What was the peace agreement based on, and what changes will occur in the region? To understand that, we first need to ask, what is the Zangezur corridor, and why is it so important? Let's start there. In the last Nagorno-Karabakh War of 2020, Azerbaijan achieved major gains and signed a ceasefire agreement. The agreement included the following statement: Armenia will open a secure corridor to connect Azerbaijan's western regions with the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic. This is what we call the Zangezur corridor, and this is where the whole issue begins. So, what exactly is this corridor, and why is it important? The Zangezur corridor is a planned transportation route that would pass through the Syunik region in southern Armenia, which Armenians call Syunik, to connect Azerbaijan with Nakhchivan. As I just mentioned, the ceasefire agreement signed on November 10, 2020, under Russian mediation, included the opening of this corridor as a specific clause. However, implementing the corridor has sparked major tensions because Armenia fears it threatens its sovereignty and could alter borders in the region. The most important connection this corridor offers is that it allows Azerbaijan to establish a direct land link with Turkey via Nakhchivan. This is a key step toward Turkey's Turkic World 2040 vision goals. Of course, the corridor would also play a significant role in trade and logistics, energy security, and military strategy. Currently, if the connection is not military, it is made through Iran. Goods leaving Baku travel through Iran to reach Nakhchivan and then Turkey, or they can go through Georgia toward Turkey and Nakhchivan. For military cargo, since there are no flights over Iran, the route goes through Georgia, looping around Armenia and then to Turkey and Nakhchivan. While these routes have been used for years, as you can see, Azerbaijan is not directly connected and there is no direct road. That's why Turkey strongly supports Azerbaijan's Zangezur corridor plan, and Erdogan calls it a historic opportunity for the unity of the Turkic world. But we can't talk this much about the corridor without addressing Iran's concerns. Looking at the map, if this border falls under Azerbaijan's control, it will close the Iran-Armenia border entirely. For this reason, Iran has repeatedly declared that the opening of the corridor crosses its red lines. Iran also suspects that opening the corridor could trigger nationalist movements among the Azerbaijani Turks in northern Iran. If Iran loses its direct land link with Armenia, it will have to reshape its logistics and trade routes in the region. So, Iran is firmly against this project. In fact, Iran has sent a clear message to Azerbaijan by conducting military drills along their border. As for Armenia, Prime Minister Pashinyan has called the corridor a violation of sovereignty and said they will not bow to Azerbaijan's pressure. Armenia has sought international support in resolving the issue, but the expected help hasn't arrived. Russia is indecisive. It wants to maintain good relations with both allies while also keeping Western actors out of its sphere of influence. It's a complete deadlock. And the man to break this deadlock, as Ilham Aliyev himself put it, was none other than the most powerful president in the world, Donald Trump. Now that we understand the Zangezur corridor, let's move on to what happened yesterday. As I said, Ilham Aliyev arrived at the White House with great enthusiasm. You may recall that a major diplomatic crisis erupted after two Azerbaijani citizens were detained and killed in Russia. This tension drove a wedge between Aliyev and Putin, further weakening Russia's already strained position in the Caucasus. Aliyev was more interested in building strong relations with the United States. In the past, a stronger Russia acted as the police of the Caucasus, controlling the balance of power in the region. But Aliyev didn't want that. He steered the process in a positive direction for Azerbaijan, first taking Karabakh, freeing himself from Russian dominance, becoming allies with Israel and the U.S., and modernizing his army with the help of Israel and Turkey. Azerbaijan is no longer Russia's backyard. It is now more independent, but the U.S. is involved here, and it's worth taking a closer look at America's plan for the Zangezur corridor. An American company will operate the Zangezur corridor for 99 years. Restrictions and sanctions on Azerbaijan will be lifted. After 99 years, the term could be extended. The corridor will be called the Trump Route. This means the territories where Russia had the most influence will no longer be the same. For Trump, this is a huge win. He wants to be known worldwide as the leader who ends wars. Related to this, his first step was in the Russia-Ukraine war, where he cut all aid to Ukraine. Republicans claim there are wars he ended with just a few phone calls. Recently, tensions in Rwanda, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Cambodia, Thailand, Pakistan, and India have also eased thanks to Trump's actions. On the other hand, Israel continues its genocide, with U.S. support, of course. Trump isn't doing this for nothing. He knows Russia is no longer as strong diplomatically. He's gaining new allies, ending wars, and taking control of the corridors. Operations. This also helps him gain domestic support, hitting 4 birds with 1 stone. Clever, but not entirely sincere, as he remains silent on genocides happening elsewhere in the world. Returning to the agreement. Unfortunately, not all details have been made public. We don't know for sure who benefits more. But Aliyev says, "We reclaimed our rights and justice through war, and now we have put a political end to it." According to Aliyev, Azerbaijan is the winning side both in war and diplomacy. This might be an overstatement, but based on the moods and behaviors of Aliyev and Pashinyan, it does feel like Azerbaijan came out ahead at the very least. One thing is certain: Aliyev prefers an alliance with Donald Trump over Russia. As I mentioned earlier, there's also the Iran factor. Iran sees the opening of the Zangezur corridor as a serious threat to its strategic interests in the Caucasus and fears it could strengthen economic cooperation between Azerbaijan and Armenia. To its detriment? Could Iran take action on this? I don't think so. Already emerging from a new war and struggling with a water crisis, Iran is no longer as strong in the region. The same goes for Russia, which has its hands full in Ukraine. Trump is taking full advantage of this power vacuum. As I said, this corridor is also crucial for Turkey because it will fully connect Turkey with the Turkic world. Following the agreement, the Turkish Foreign Ministry immediately issued a statement expressing great satisfaction on behalf of Turkey. In conclusion, without a doubt, we witnessed history yesterday. The long-debated corridor has now gained official significance. Hopefully, the future will be better for the world, but since we don't know the full details, it's hard to predict much more. That's all I have to say today about the peace between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Thank you for listening. Friends, your support and comments matter. Take care of yourselves and see you next time. Goodbye.